Good morning, physics people. This video is to be serving as an introduction to our dimensional analysis and CER project. I had mentioned this last week. I'm kind of excited about it. I created this entire thing myself, and I'm hoping that you guys think it's kind of cool and not too crazy. Anyways, let's get into it. So the assignment is posted in Google Classroom. Notice that it is from Tuesday all the way until Friday for second hour. So we're going to be working on it for pretty much the entire week. It is worth 15 points. And I'll get into how those points are divvied up in a little bit. But the goal of the assignment is to use dimensional analysis to convert units so we can compare speeds of animals to determine their ranking from slowest to fastest. I'm going to come back to this calendar of stuff. I just want to get right into the project. So there's a Google Doc that goes over the instructions for the entire project. So we're going to start there. So here's the overview. Each of you is going to be assigned a group of 3 animals. Now they're slightly random. I just kind of looked at a list and picked out the ones that I thought were kind of cool. The only information you're going to be given about the animal is its speed. However, the units are going to be all different, right? So in this grouping of 3 animals, you'll have, sounds like an animal in the background. You'll have units of like kilometers per hour and then feet per minute and then like centimeters per second or some, like just random speeds. That makes it difficult to compare them to really determine like who's the slowest and who's the fastest. So your job is going to be to use dimensional analysis and graphing to prove the ranking of those animals based on their speed. You're officially going to share those results in a CER format in a presentation to a small group that's going to happen on Friday. So the schedule that I had posted on the Google Classroom that you see here is the same as the schedule that's posted here. It's just kind of a different way of looking at it. So for second hour, you guys are supposed to be watching the project video, this morning. In the afternoon time, we're going to go over the instructions one more time, make sure you guys are all clear on what you should be doing and what's expected of you. And then you get independent work time. And then we don't meet again until Friday. So you have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at some point in time to continue working on this project and get it all wrapped up into a presentation that you'll give Friday afternoon. So how do you do this project? All of the information that you do can be recorded in what's called the project template. So I'm going to open that up. That's also included as a link on our Google Classroom. So when you open it up, each of the categories that we kind of go through in the instructions, you'll see pop up here. You'll just keep notes there. This is not something that I'm going to be grading. This is just a way for you to make sure that you've included all your pieces. So what are all of the pieces? Here's the steps that you're going to follow to do this project. First of all, you find your assigned group of animals on the student animal assignment slide. So let's go there first. It's my son. So for second hour, you'll go to slide 2 in order to find your assigned animals. Notice that the group number that shows up first, that's the animal group that you're assigned to. The people who are in the same square as you, that's who you're going to be presenting with on Friday. So for example, if I was Mason and I am a group 3 person, that means I need to find animal group number 3. So if I was Mason, I'm in charge of looking at the killer whale, the dolphin, and the leatherback turtle. If I was Owen, I would go to group 8. Where is group 8? I think it's about here. So I would be in charge of the marlin, the sailfish, and then Michael Phelps. Okay, so that's how you read this. So once you have your animals, then you go back and you say, okay, what do I need to do with them? Step number 2, convert each animal's speeds to miles per hour. Okay, so my son hopped in there for a second, so I kind of lost where I was at, but I'm pretty sure we left off with that you have to convert each animal's speeds to miles per hour. So as you noticed, right, in one of those charts, like animal group 2, notice that the units are inches per minute, kilometers per hour, millimeters per second. You have to turn each of those into units that are measured in miles per hour, because once they're the same, gosh, once they're the same, then it's very easy to figure out who's slowest and who's fastest. Then we are going to graph each animal's speed all on the same graph. Here's where it gets just a little bit tricky. You have to include data points every 10 minutes for 1 hour. that shows how fast that animal is able to run. I'm going to go over specifically the graphing part of it in class in the afternoon time, so don't freak out. Graphing won't be that difficult. Then once you have that data collected, right, and we said it's pretty easy to figure out who's the slowest and who's the fastest, then you can officially write your claim. You can use that dimensional analysis. You can use the graph to write your evidence statement. Remember, that's pulling actual numbers or descriptions from graphs to help prove that your claim is right. Then you get to part 6. It says, use Google to research what makes the fastest animal in your animal group the fastest. There's scientific research on this. It could be the fact that they have loosey-goosey ligaments that allow the animal to like really stretch into some long strides. It could be the fact that their wingspan is so large. It could be a longer tail that helps them to balance while they run. I don't know. It could be a long list of variety of things. But you can do a little bit of research to see if you can figure that out in a way that helps to support your claim and your evidence. Last thing, like I said, is that all of this needs to be turned into a presentation. So this is where the grading comes in, because I'm not going to be grading you again on that template. I'm going to be grading you on your official presentation. So your presentation should include the following items. One slide that gives interesting facts, info, pics, GIFs, videos about each of the animals in your group. Think Planet Earth style, so you're trying to give some like sweet build-up information to be like, who do you think is going to be the fastest when you present this material? You'll get 1 point for each of those slides. Then you need a slide that shows how you use dimensional analysis to compare the animal's speeds. So that's pretty much just showing your work to the people in your group. They can double check your math, right? Again, 1 point for each animal that you had to convert. Part C, one slide that shows the graph of each animal's speeds. Again, 3 points because you should have 3 accurately graphed animals' speeds. Part D, one slide that includes your claim and evidence on the same slide, because it's not that much information. You can just double up on that. And then part E is one slide with your reasoning, right? So extra diagrams or pictures, if you can find them, would be really helpful to kind of explain why that fastest animal is the fastest. That one is worth 2 points because I know it took a little bit more time to come up with that answer. Now, to round it all out to 15 points, I'm additionally giving 2 points for clarity and creativity in your presentation. What I don't want to see is just black and white slides with paragraphs of information that are just all the same size font. There's no character to it, right? Like that's boring. You're going to be giving a presentation to someone, like amp it up a little bit, right? So looking at different font styles, are you using colors? Are you highlighting different things? Are your words large enough that people could see it? Are you including pictures of things, especially since this is all about animals? Like there's bazillions of pictures of these animals. There's no reason to not use them. So again, in total, it's 15 points. Now, if we look at the calendar, Friday afternoon is not going to work if half of the class has their presentations done, right? Like we come in and we're like, oh, yeah, it's class presentation day. And then like people are like, oh, but I didn't get it done. And it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do, right? So here's the added emphasis. If you do not have your presentation done by Friday or Monday for 5th hour, then you automatically get a decrease by 10% in your grade. So I think that amounts to about 1.5 points, which takes you down to a 90% automatically. Still a really great grade, right? But it's just the fact that you didn't get it done quite in time like you should have. So if you have questions about that, though, like don't hesitate to email me and ask me. I won't be mad about it, but you like need to have a plan for getting stuff done. So with that said, let's go back to the Google Classroom. Here's what I would imagine for pacing wise, like scheduling of stuff. So you watch the video, this one, right, which I know is lengthy, but it's the only thing that you have to do. If you wanted to get a jump start on your project because you kind of get it already and you're like ready to rock and roll, go for it. You're using your time wisely. Otherwise, this afternoon, right, we review instructions, we maybe go over an example of a final project, and then you get independent work time. So that gives you about like 45 minutes in the afternoon time to work on stuff that you could probably get all of the unit conversions done and most of the graphing, which means on Friday, if you're 2nd hour, or Monday if you're 5th hour, in the morning time, you're just kind of wrapping up, creating your presentation, copying and pasting information in to like Google Slides, and then you'll be ready to rock and roll with the final project presentations on the afternoon time. Also, keep in mind that we don't have school on, Thursday, because of parent-teacher conferences. So no additional work from you teachers should be scheduled that day. So that's kind of your buffer day. If you do want to spend just a couple extra minutes getting some stuff done because you didn't get as far as you wanted to, that'd be a really good use of time. All right, I think this is where I'm going to wrap it up for now because my son is being my son. Oh my. If you have any questions right away, don't hesitate to email me. Otherwise, again, we'll go over this very briefly in the afternoon time. Make sure you guys are all good with what's going on.